Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in. Basically, I got a couple projects going on. Some stuff I feel like y'all may really be interested in. If you enjoy building stuff, building cars, building just anything, like I'm all about that. So I'm constantly building something, making something, changing something, modifying something. Right now, I'm currently in the middle of building a 1999 4x4 Silverado. You see that in the background. That truck is being converted to all-wheel drive and is getting a motor swap from the factory 4.8 to a LQ9. Should make quite a bit more horsepower. Got a lot of upgrades on it. Take y'all under here, show you what we're working with. As you can see, we've already upgraded the wheels. I want to say these are off of a 2018 Silverado, I believe is what I was told. Bring you under the undercarriage here. We've already switched out the front transfer case. I'm sorry, front differential for a full-time all-wheel drive. The factory Silverado has a solenoid here that disconnects the axle whenever you're not using 4x4. This one will stay all-wheel drive all the time. Let's go further under. Here you can see the Speed Engineering long tube headers into the 3-inch Speed Engineering the exhaust. Follow that back. Here's our Speed Engineering muffler that's going to be getting switched out for a Borla muffler. I prefer the sound of Borla personally. You can see the transfer case is not in here. There's a reason for that, because originally I had bought a Borg-Warner transfer case and it turned out to be the wrong transfer case. You need an NP149 if you're going to make this build happen, make it drive correctly. Take you over here to the bench, show you what we're working with. See, I got the NP149 totally disassembled, broke down. A lot of stuff is worn out on it. As you can see, those teeth are ready to give up the ghost. So we got a bunch of new parts in from Rigid Axle. And one of the upgrades you can see here is, if you look at these chain sprockets, you can tell these are the new ones and these are your old ones. Huge difference. Like how much more beefy and robust that is. That should hold down exactly what we're wanting to do with it. Here's another half case that we're going to be using. All of our bearings and seal kits and gaskets, pump. We're also going to be redoing the planetary gear system. These are not really a serviceable item from the factory. They want you to replace them when they wear out. The biggest common failure is these little plastic washers right here. They're like a nylon, I guess. And these planetary gears ride on top of those nylon washers. One on top, one on the bottom. And what happens is when it starts to go out, that planetary gear here in the housing will start going up and down like that. And it will chew into the case and actually self-destruct itself essentially. So I put it on the press, push these pins out. You can see they're staked from the factory top and bottom. But once they're pressed out, you can remove your planetary gear. You can remove your metal washers that go above and below it. And it's also got these little needle bearings in there. So my plan is, I got hold of the original factory washers. I'm going to put new ones back in it, put them in, and I'm going to attempt to stake it and see if that works. And if that does work, these little couple cent washers will save me about $600. So I'll take y'all along for the ride. I hope y'all enjoy this kind of stuff. Tune in, like, subscribe. Tell me what you think about the build. Any tips, your thoughts? Just shoot them to me, holler at me. Let me know your thoughts on it. All right, hope y'all enjoy it. Stay tuned. Okay, let's talk some more about rebuilding this planetary gear system for this NP149. Again, the main failure in these systems is surprisingly, surprisingly, these nylon washers. They will get chewed up eventually by friction, several other things, possibly not changing gear oil out. Regardless, eventually they will fail. It's inevitable. So the thing about these systems is they consider them non-serviceable. So they want you to essentially buy a new one whenever you go to rebuild it, if you can take your planetary gear and it gets a lot of up-down play. Like you can see this one, it does have some up-down play, but it's very minimal. Okay, before I rebuilt those two planetaries already, my travel was like this. It was ridiculous. So what I did, if you can see here, each one of these planetary gears is held in by a staked pin. It's staked on the top and the bottom. Essentially what I did, I took a punch and I put it on top of that, and I put it in my 20-ton shop press, and I pressed that pin all the way out of the bottom. Once you have that pin out, you can go online, and I'll link you a link for these, but you can order these nylon washers that are OEM, and they're about 30 cents per washer. So y'all can basically go and spend a couple bucks with shipping. I think I spent $7 for these washers. You only need 6 of them, one for the top of each of the planetary gears and one for the bottom. So what you do is, once you push that pin out, it's going to look like this, right? You can see the stake on the bottom, stake on the top. You want to take it and file that edge right there, get a little bit of that high spot off, take some sandpaper to it, clean it up. You want to make sure you don't damage this middle shaft, because that's where your planetary gear is going to ride at. Once you've got that done, to where you take a look at this planetary gear, it's got needle bearings in it, and it's also got a washer that sits on the top and the bottom. They're identical. You can see those planetary, or those needle bearings there. Once you have filed this end down, don't worry about both ends, you want to keep that end. File this end down, smooth it out. It should go down in those needle bearings effortlessly. It should just slide in there. That's what you want. All right, once you get to that point, pull it back out of there, take your washer, put your washer on top of those needle bearings, make sure you have your washer on the bottom of it, and get your 2 nylon washers. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed, bear with me. All right, so what I want to do now, I'm going to take this, go in from either side, it does not matter. Start it up in there to where essentially it's like that, right? You follow me? Kind of back it up. So you want to take your planetary gear, make sure you have 1 nylon washer. You can set it down there on that shaft. Now, you can see it's got indents in it. They're on the same on each side. It does not matter how you flip these. The orientation doesn't matter. Put it on there like so. So I got it sitting in there. All right. Then you're going to take your planetary gear and try to drop it down in there gently. Try not to knock your needle bearings out of place. And then shove your shaft through. All right, boom, just like that. Now, what you don't want to forget about is this last little washer right here. Your top metal washer is already in there. All right, this is not easy one-handed, but I'm trying to show y'all the best way I possibly can. Sometimes what you'll have to do is take a little screwdriver and go in here and push that metal washer down. That way you have enough clearance to get in here and get this little nylon washer in between those. It might take you a second fiddling with it, but you will get it. Just be patient. Like I said, you can, I don't know if you can really see, but that little metal washer is kind of blocking me right now. You want to be a little gentle with these nylon washers. They will break. I unfortunately did break one. But luckily, when I took this apart, I had 1 nylon washer from the factory that was still holding strong. Alright, make sure you get your nylon washer centered. And just like so. Over there. Now, you should be able to take your shaft with your fingers and push it through. You don't, if you got to beat it, that means you didn't sand this enough. It should just slide in there. Now that it is slidden in there, you're going to need to restake this. So essentially, I'm going to grab. It's hard for me to do this one-handed, but I want to do the best I can to show y'all what you want to do. Bring it over here. I'm just going to do this on top of my vise. Get this set down here. So if you notice, those stakes are going one way. They're not going both ways from the factory. So basically what you want to do, I got a chisel right here. I'm going to put that chisel down on there and I'm going to smack it. Do not hit this case itself. You're just hitting the pin, trying to stake that pin. And once you do that, then I'll turn it and I'll stake it crisscross the other way. But whatever you do, try to stay away from this case itself, because you can break that case. If you break that case, you will be needing to buy another one, and they're not cheap. You're probably looking at around $600. But that's pretty much it. I'll go ahead and stake this one and get back with you. All right, as you can see, we're all staked up now. I got stake on the top and bottom of the pins I replaced. Those are the bottoms of the other two pins. It doesn't matter which way you put them in, as long as you do it correctly. And see, there's not much side to side play now. That's how it should be. Your planetary gear should spin nice and easy, like that. All right. Just want to clean it up good. Make sure you don't have any dirt or grease in there. Use a little assembly lube when you're putting your needle bearings in. It'll help your needle bearings stick into place, and it'll also lube them up on first startup. You get your transmission fluid back in there, and that thing will be good to go. All right, I hope y'all enjoyed that video. I hope it was useful to you.